Saturday fixture. The television, of course, today is from the BBC, and usually the Saturday fixtures are causing some problem, but Leeds are at home in this match, and Ollie Hanley just about to lead out the Leeds team. And here he comes, the master player, Ollie Hanley. And the two mascots today are Leanne Ramsdale of Garforth, and her favourite player is Ollie Hanley, and Jonathan Wilson of Rothwell, and his favourite player is also Ollie Hanley. So two youngsters today, big day for them and a big day for Leeds. Potentially the biggest game of the season so far here at Headingley today. Both these sides a lot to prove, and would both have a Wembley trip, because it's a long time since Leeds last won a trophy, and today realistically I suppose could be the end of the Loyners' chances for any glory this season if they don't win today. And I'm sure that everybody at Leeds has worked very hard this week. I know that I've spoken to Dougie Lawton, the players very much in the mood, trained very well yesterday and well fired up for this clash. The referee just calling away the two these two captains, Greg Mackey and Ollie Hanley. And there's a pre-match presentation. The National Children's Home have been provided with a cheque. And that's going to be presented to Bob Holness of Blockbusters fame on the television by Mr Rodney Walker and Mr Roy Warby of the Rugby Football League. So coming together in the middle now are Ollie Hanley and Greg Mackey. It's a big game, and Leeds must get on top in the forwards. And of course, with a big boost last week when Harvey Howard was cleared by the disciplinary committee to play today. Big boost to Leeds and to their hopes.
To receive the total donation of £15,513, will you please welcome from television's award-winning quiz programme Blockbusters, National Children's Bank supporter, I have the team please, Bob Holness.
Well, Bob Holness comes onto the field. I'll have a P please, Bob, and just waves to the crowd. And Leeds will be playing from left to right as you look at it. Ollie Hanley just telling the So Bob Holness gets the check, and Leeds prepare to receive Warrington kick-off. It's just after 3 o'clock. It's going to be Greg Mackey, the kick-off for Warrington. And the crowd really behind Leeds this afternoon. They realise as well as anyone that this is the most important game of the season. Jonathan Davis, in fact, is who's going to kick off. Greg Mackey just providing the ball. So Davis then gets this 5th round Silk Cut Challenge Cup tie underway, and Graham Holroyd feeds Gary Mercer. And a big hit there on Mercer by Bob Jackson. Harvey Howard. And gets the ball away, that's good play, and Leeds immediately running that ball with Alan Tate up to that 20 metres. Great anticipation among the crowd here. Neil Harmon, former Warrington player, of course, he'll be looking for a big game today against his former colleagues. And Mercer again, second time in that set of 6. But the former Warrington player has driven that ball in, and that's back this time for Tate. Tate plunking that ball down, and that's a good kick. It's making Lee Penny chase. And the youngster in possession now, and he had a tremendous game last week in the absence of Jonathan Davis. We're still in the first minute of this game. And Leeds will look to keep wire penned down here, Robbie Myler. Bob Jackson just a little slow to get back there. And again, using the wingers. And Mark Forster there. And now we use the big men, Craig Tytsley, Australian. Great tackle there from Gary Schofield. And a big game from Gary Schofield today could turn this tie. And we're up to the last tackle, and that's back for Jonathan Davis for the boot. And that sits up lovely there for Francis Cummins. Cummins taking that ball over the halfway line. Tate now, step in. Thursfield quickly up at the tackle. Warrington back the 10 metres. Gary Schofield finds Neil Harmon. And Harmon will just drive there, looks to offload. Mercer now using that short side. Oh, and a first half break there for Gary Mercer. That's 30 metres now from the Warrington line. And Warrington, 2 men down, injured there, and Allroyd puts a crossfield kick. Back the wind, takes that one away over the dead ball line. And so Warrington will have the comparative luxury of a tap out there on the 20 metres. So 2 minutes gone then, the score remains at 0-0. Warrington again using the wingers to drive this ball out. That was a forward pass, and Stuart Cummins has noticed that one. And that was a mile forward there to Craig Teitzel from John Thursfield. Good yard. And Stuart Cummins quickly up and up to the job as well. So first test for Gary Schofield as he feeds the scrum. And it's out to Leeds. Teitzel linking up on the blind side. And Fallon's in for the try. That's a try there to Jim Fallon, and Leeds in for the first try. Tremendous play, 3 minutes gone, and Alan Tate using the blind side at the scrum. And Leeds, with that try to Fallon, had Jim Fallon with him all the way, tied on the touchline, but Fallon equal to the task. And over for the try. Just caught by the legs, and Fallon in support, tied on the touchline side, but strong enough to get round the cover and over and put down the ball about 7 metres in from touchline. So a difficult kick for Graham Holroyd, and what a lift it will be if this one could go over. For Graham Holroyd, who only 12 months ago was starting a career here at Leeds, now finds himself in the cauldron of this. And he's up that one wide, so not to be today. First kick goes wide. Leeds 4-0 to the good. So the mistake there by Warrington bringing the try to Leeds, the forward pass from Thursfield to Teitzel, spotted by referee Stuart Cummins. So Jonathan Davis. It's a long kick in again. And this time Allroyd again feeds Mercer, and this time he evades Bob Jackson. But not Craig Teitzel. Jim Fallon trying to drive his way down the middle of the field. First fielding quickly there now, Neil Harmon. That's a good ball out to Iro. Harvey Howard now, that's Richie Ayres now, and Richie Ayres steps there, the first man. Hanley now steps, that was a high tackle by Kevin Ellis, and the crowd not too happy with that. Holroyd now will put the kick in. Floats high and deep. And just bounce it in a touch on the full. And the wind here, tricky today. Leeds with the spot of defending to do as Bob Jackson will play this ball. Teitzel twisting and turning in the tackle. Mackey. Derbyshire had a tremendous game in the league game at Wilderspool. Leeds already the third game against Warrington this season. Kelly Shelford finds Lee Penny. Penny jinking and weaving, but Kevin Ido has him well wrapped up there. Mike Gregory. He struggled with that ball, Mike Gregory. A lot of speculation that Mike Gregory not quite the player that he was. Mackie looks to go through. Eventually Thursfield, so we can expect the bomb here. Alan Tate drops back. Davis. It's a crossfield kick. Fallon just not able to hold that one and knocking the ball into touch, so Leeds will have another spell of defending to do right on their own line. Scumble form, it's a 10-metre scrum. Davis in pole position, he's at standoff now, he's Jonathan Davis. Wants to go himself, but that's a good tackle there from Alan Tate. Derbyshire trying to step out of tackles. Warrington just meters from the short now. Meters from the line. Just Leeds will need to knock people down. Mackie goes himself there. Kelly Shelford and Warrington using that short side again, using Davis. Oh, that's a great tackle there from Craig Innes on Davis. Richie Ayres. A good tackle from Harvey Howard, nearly broke Mike Gregory in half there. So up to the last tackle again, and Davis has the ball in his hands, puts a chip through. And too far, that's gone dead, so Leeds will have that tap there, and Mercer. Harmon. Straight through Jonathan Davis's tackle there, and that'll be the plan for Leeds to attack down Jonathan Davis's side. He is weak in defence. Mercer again. Just prepared to take the tackle there of Bob Jackson. Thursfield. Allroyd. Schofield. Ball out to Cummins there. Oh, Cummins now stepping, coming inside. Going away, Francis Cummins. A great run there from the youngster. Lee Penny lines him up. Great tackle from Penny. Great dive from Francis Cummins. James Lawes finds Allroyd. Gives it to Fallon. Fallon's on the outside, taking Mike Jackson on. Lawes now. Lawes is going for the corner. The yard short there. Great play from Leeds. Allroyd now in acting half. Finds Ido. Schofield, is he in for the try? Oh, he's just a metre short getting Schofield. This is tremendous football from Leeds. Ido again there, finds Allroyd. Mercer. And Craig Innes in for the try. That's another try to Leeds. That's just the start again, Leeds. Innes in for the try. Tremendous start for Leeds, and 2 tries already. Lovely football from Leeds. Craig Innes is over for the try. Start that Leeds want. Graham Allroyd then with the kick. There's 11 minutes gone. The Leeds 8 points to the good. And tremendous applause as Leeds come back. Allroyd then lines up this conversion. Both conversions been from wide out, and that won't have done his nerves any good. Very nervous before the game. His parents were telling me, Graham Allroyd, good game for him today. And that just shows you what a year can do, because Graham Allroyd was the coolest customer at Central Park in that Challenge Cup semi-final. He had to be got out of bed at 9 o'clock in the morning, sleeping like a baby, which probably he was at that time. He's got a full year of football behind him now, and he'll be feeling the pressure just like everyone else. So right on that 20 metres. Tracks it well. And he's got that! That's my boy there, all right. What a tremendous kick there from the youngster. And that will have done his confidence absolutely the world of good. So then, 12 minutes on the clock, Leeds 10 points up. Jonathan Davis with the kick-off. Well, so far Warrington have looked strangely lethargical, but we've seen them come back from behind again. They had this kind of lead against them at Halifax. Schofield takes a tackle there. Mercer finds Fallon. Hanley now. Can expect a big effort today from Melanie Hanley. Jim Lowes just takes Hanley's ball there and eventually he's knocked down. Neil Harmon. Bumping off men, Neil Harmon, but now it's Harvey Howard's turn to go on that burst. Harmon again, finds Innes. Innes is wrapped up there. Good tackle in there. And the touch judge is on for something that's happened there. That's going to be a penalty to Leeds. It's Kelly Shelford who's been brought out there. So Holroyd will look to find touch. He's just inside his own half as he kicks the ball. Innes. Leeds just 10 metres again from that Warrington line now. Another try and a goal now would go down really well for the Loiners. Hanley. Ido. Inside ball there was for Fallon, and Fallon was tackled. Mercer. Up to the last tackle now. That ball finds Schofield. Oh, Schofield's drop attempt goes well wide. In fact, it's not gone. Actually bouncing over on the in goal, so it remains at 10 points to nil, 14 minutes gone. And Warrington attack on that 20 metres. So Myler taking the drives and Hanley and Harmon up quickly there, and Teitzel. Mike Gregory. Mackey. Ellis. A good tackle there from Harvey Howard. Shelford, it'll be interesting to see Shelford's tactics. He likes to run with the football. Finds Bateman. And knocked in a touch there. Great tackle from Francis Cummins on the far side. Glass defence from the youngster. So Leeds will have head and ball at the scrum. It's midway between 20 metres and halfway. We'll give the Loiners some more much loved possession. Schofield. Francis Cummins almost through there. Kick through, so Harvey Howard brings that ball back. Certainly gets over the gain line. That should be 6 more tackles, although Stuart Cummins hasn't signalled that. Harmon. The Leeds lining up deep here. We've got Schofield now, Mercer. Ido pushing men off, goes himself. Lows quickly in acting now, finds Schofield. Allroyd running with that ball. Trying to step first field, finds Tate. Tate's away there. Hanley's in possession. Schofield. And the forward pass has been ruled out as James Lowes went over for the try. I think the first pass from Hanley to Schofield was the one to judge forward. For Leeds, pull back there. Try on the cards. For Warrington, quickly out of that scrum. Bateman. Ellis goes himself, hands Allroyd off, but not Harman. Gregory. Mackie now, finds Shelford. Just for one moment there looked to be a gap for Kelly Shelford. A penalty against Gary Mercer. So the first Warrington penalty of the game. Davies' kick. Now Warrington will want to get back into this game as quickly as possible. Jackson, it is who runs with the football. Shelford. Tackle from Harvey Howard there on Davies. Stopped the Welshman in full flight. Teitzel. It's out for Mike Gregory. Runs straight at Graham Allroyd, but the youngster out with the help of Hanley up to the task. Battle coming back this way now. Ellis. It's a crossfield kick in there. That sits up lovely for Jim Fallon. And Fallon steps the first man. And finally runs into trouble on that 10 metres. Innes will go from acting now. Warrington down, tackling, rocking them back. Leeds will use Mercer now. And Jimmy Lowes. Next Leeds tackle's gone, Leeds still around that quarter. Hanley. Line-side run there from Hanley over the gain line. That's a penalty to Leeds. Warrington all over Ellery Hanley there. Allowing him to waiver attack for them and Warrington to defend. Fallon. The tackle from Derbyshire there, puts the shoulder into Jim Fallon's ribs. Allroyd. Drop off side out. Harman. Looking to make that ball available all the time, Neil Harman. Schofield now. Finds Harvey Howard. That's a great tackle from Kevin Ellis on the big man there. Stretching his legs out, Kevin Ido. Is he going to try under the post? Will you believe it? A try out of absolutely nothing there. Absolutely marvellous try from Kevin Ido. There's been a lot of controversy about Kevin Ido recently. Saying one or two talking of the tendency to Kevin Ido, perhaps not worth his place in the side. Well, I'll tell you, leave him out at your puddle because he's likely to do that. A man who's never lost a Challenge Cup tie has just put Leeds well and truly on their way. It's too early to count your chickens yet, but Leeds well on the way now with that try to Kevin Ido. Allroyd's kick, a formality. $18 points to nil, then Leeds in the lead. From Warrington, 21 minutes gone. They've had the ball for 4 minutes and 49 seconds, and they've not really been in this game at all. Required a super effort now from Jonathan Davies for Warrington to produce anything even at this early stage. And I'm sure Leeds won't be taking their hammer down off the pedal. The long kick hangs in the wind. Eventually Holroyd finds Mercer. And Mercer takes a tackle. Fallon now. Helping his forwards out, coming down, taking that ball over that 20 metres. It's good play there from Fallon. Harmon. Just had to check to receive the ball. Harvey Howard. Spins round there in the tackle. Alan Tate's in the line looking for the gap, but there's no gap there this time. We're up to the last tackle. And James Lowes kicks from acting half and that ball spinning. And a great kick there from James Lowes. The Leeds using the kicking options today. £16 points to 0 then, Leeds in the lead. 3 tries and the 2 goals, 3 tries to Fallon, to Innes, to Iro, all the backs. And 2. And Mackie wins the feed, fortunate there. Kelly Shelford. Rock back there, Warrington, some tremendous tackling from Melody Hanley. Over on the far side, Lee Penny looks to run with the ball. Mackie again. Shelford's put away there, and Holroyd's chasing him. And a great tackle there from the youngster. Davis quickly in acting half. Ellis. Just to the last tackle now. Davis, will he put the kick in or will he run this ball? Tate took that there, looked to have lost that ball, but took it well there, Alan Tate. And Hanley stepping out of tackles, Ellery Hanley. Mercer finds Ido. Ido bumps off Main again. Look for Jim Fallon on his outside. Fallon had moved inside. And now the big man, Neil Harmon. Lowes in support. The Leeds will spin this ball out to the backs now. Schofield puts the kick in. That's a spinning kick. It's a difficult one for Lee Penny. Takes that over his own line and comes round the post. Beats Schofield, clever jink there from Penny. And Hanley brings him down. Forster, hat-trick hero, of course, at Wilderspool in the league game some 4 or 5 weeks ago. A good tackle from Innes on Bob Jackson. Bateman. And Mercer, judged to have tackled Alan Bateman round the neck. So Warrington, their second penalty of the game. Davis finds touch. Teitzel goes on that drive. Mackie. Jackson. Mackie again now. Leeds must close down Mackie's options, and Shelford. Davis into space, but straight into Gary Schofield. In fact, I think that's James Lowes. Difficult to tell with the helmets on. It's James Lowes. Shelford again. And now Leeds, Mackie again will move that ball, looks for runners. It's a crossfield kick in there. And Leeds making a pig's ear of that, and they've got 6 more tackles now, Warrington. Clever kick across the face of the post. Shelford looks to duck under there, and Leeds defending. Warrington now with Jackson again. Just a metre short now, Wire. Mackie again finds Shelford. That's going to be a knock on this time. In fact, it's kicked downfield by Harvey Howard. And Howard and Lee Penny will chase. And that's a knock on there. Oh, that's a bad decision from Stuart Cummins. A terrible decision from Stuart Cummins. And Davis now, he's got men inside. He's coming down the touchline side. He's coming into Alan Tate. Great tackle from Tate. Well, the touch judge has given the head and ball to Warrington. I find this unbelievable there. For Warrington there, 18 consecutive tackles, and Leeds just hanging on, but they're going to have to defend again here because Warrington, once again, have got head and ball at this scrum. This ball's out to Ellis. Ellis finds Bateman. Great tackle from Tate. Mackie finds Teitzel. Oh, and a good tackle from Fallon, pushing him into touch. And what we're going to get this time, a 10-metre scrum. It's got to be heading ball to Leeds. Leeds look stretched for the moment. Robbie Myler pushed into touch by Jim Fallon. Try-saving tackle there. 29 minutes gone, then approaching the half hour. As Gary Schofield works the feed for Leeds. Oh, and brings that ball away in fine style there. And Iro, Allroyd finds Iro, and Iro runs, using people as a dummy there. Iro just couldn't get away from Greg Mackie. Harmon. For Warrington fancy the chances now of coming back into this game. Some good hard tackles coming in there. They've had plenty of possession. But cheers. Schofield looks to put the kick in. And that's a good kick from Gary Schofield. Lee Penny will let that roll, and it'll roll dead. Leeds will line up now as Warrington prepared on the half-hour lead. 16 points to 0 in the lead. The first fielder hooker will look for runners, and he looks for Forster. Kevin Ellis is back in the fray after some treatment. Gregory. Teitzel again. Knocked down there by Ellery Hanley. And Warrington making progress up the field now. Mackie has the ball. Mackie. Shelford. Long balls out for Bateman. Forster coming in field. And again, Allroyd. Tremendous job there. Pass look forward there. Tate finds Iro there, and Iro's away down the touchline side. Take him in on Iro. And hanging on to the ball, that's good play from Iro. Warrington all offside there. Leeds with men on that side. It's out for Innes. Up to that 20 metres, so Leeds turning defence into attack there in no uncertain fashion. Mercer tries to go from acting half. Lowe's and Schofield. Hanley. And Hanley running onto that ball now. Schofield. There's a try! There's third again, Schofield! Oh, he's definitely on the way now. A great try to Schofield. Leeds certainly playing the part, all the backs in the tries today. Over in the corner there, Alan Hanley got that ball after great play from Kevin Ido. Tremendous run from Alan Tate, Kevin Ido and Earl in the challenge. And Alright's curling kick there, just missing the outside of the post. So 20 points in, 4 tries, 2 goals. Warrington, 2 substitutions. Craig Teitzel and Gregory will be coming off. So Mark Hilton, the academy player, number 15, and number 14, Dave Elliott, coming on. And they've got a big job now if Warrington are to pull anything whatsoever out of this game. I'm sure Leeds in the next 7 minutes will work hard to keep Warrington pointless in this first half. Davis's kick again hanging up in this strong wind. And Allroyd finds Mercer, and Mercer this time is over that 20 metre mark. Fallon again. Harmon. Howard just off and loading that ball there to James Lowe's, the ball bouncing. Tate looks to put boot to ball and does indeed, and that spins down towards the touchline. And that goes out there, so it'll be a scrum, it'll be head and ball on the wire, but it'll be 10 metres from their own line. And Leeds having Warrington well and truly where they want them. Right, pinned down in their own quarter. And again the scrum takes just that little bit longer, just a little bit extra couple of minutes. Mackie feeds. And again Robbie Myler takes the drive. Shelford. Ellis. Cole Forster now. Francis Cummins has missed him. And Alan Tate now, he's got men to spare. Forster, Alan Tate's lost. What a great tackle from Leeds. Alan Tate did ever so well there. But Warrington right on that Leeds line. Ball spinning across now. Shelford, he's a danger man with that ball in his hands. Davis. Tremendous tackle from Schofield. Big hit there on Davis, and that needed it. And there's gaps now appearing for Leeds. Shelford. That was number 14, Dave Elliott. His first contribution is to knock on. Go ahead and ball to Warrington. So again Leeds with a strong spell of defending to do here. Shelford this time, looking to make the extra man. A good tackle from Ido. Mercer in there. Elliott. And again, Mercer's in at the tackle. Thursfield quickly to act in half. Elliott again, and that's a good tackle from Mercer again. So 3 tackles on the trot that Gary Mercer's been involved in there. Mackie again. And this time I think we'll have head and ball to Leeds at the scrum. Kevin Ellis, described as a weak link in the Warrington backs, puts that ball down. 37 minutes. So 3 minutes then to half time for Leeds to keep Warrington scoreless in this first half, which I'm sure they will be looking forward to doing. Francis Cummins will have a run. Lee Penny, academy youngster. And again Kevin Ido has used his weight to good advantage this afternoon. Shakes men off there. Eventually as the pack breaks up, the forwards coming round. Harmon. Pushes Bateman out of the way there. Finds Harmon. Oh, the fist going in there from Thursfield. Couple of swinging arms. Tate puts the boot to the ball. And Penny will chase. And will pick up. So Leeds up quickly chasing there. And a tackle from Innes. And Leeds with a line out now. Mackie. Finds Myler. Great tackle from Fallon. Leeds well fired up, not quickly there, trying to keep Warrington pinned down here. Hilton's tackle by Fallon. Of Jackson. Shelford now again, looks very much the danger man. Finds Ellis. Nowhere for Kevin Ellis to go there. Last tackle coming up. And Mercer. Davis puts the kick in. Well, Tate will let that go. And that runs into touch. Could be head and ball to the liners. It's a 39 minutes gone now of play. Schofield picks up the ball. Leeds for school in the afternoon. Injured there in the tackle, Gary Schofield. Gary Mercer. Neil Harmon, Leeds just using. And there's a hood for half-time then with Leeds. 20 points to 0 to the good, and the crowd stand up and applaud. But it's been a tremendous first half liners display here. They tried a Fallon on 4 minutes. Innes on 11 and Allroyd converted. Magnificent from the touchline. Another try to Iredore. Graham Allroyd converted from in front of the post. Tremendous strength there. And Gary Schofield showing his strength to go over in the corner. For a try which put Leeds 20 up at half time. The best display of the season so far from the liners. Warrington just haven't had a prayer or a clue what's going on. Each and every man has played his part. A tremendous first half display to Leeds end. 20 points to 4 to 0 is the 20 points to 0. I'll repeat that again. 20 points to 0 is the score here at half time. I'll give you a little teaser question. Which former Leeds and Warrington forward has this week signed on loan at Doncaster? Which former Leeds and Warrington forward has this week signed on loan at Doncaster?
He drinks Carling Black Label.
Carling what?
Carling Black Label. It's brewed in England to 4.1% for fuller flavor. And because it's the #1 selling beer over there, you ain't gonna find enough back here to spit with. Yep.
Ain't no wonder that there Carling's #1.
Second half, 20 points to 0 for the good. And Warrington must put some points on the board if they're to get anything at all out of this game early in this second half. And again, good tackling from Leeds, and Winnerson with Jonathan Davis will use the wind in this second half. As Leeds did in the first. Mark Hilton. Of Jackson. And that's good driving for Warrington. 40 metres there they've gone from the kick-off. Elliott. To the last tackle now, so the wingers and Alan Tate will have to drop back for this. Jonathan Davis puts up the bomb. Great take by Tate. And Tate's away and Leeds. Tate taking the tackle there sensibly. Craig Innes now. Lined up there by Hilton for the big hit. Lee Penny. Mercer. James Lowe spots a gap there from acting half, makes the advantage line as Leeds pressing now. It's 30 metres from that line, Hanley. Tremendous physical effort from Melody Hanley this afternoon. We're up to the last tackle. This ball's for Allroyd. Hoist across field bomb. And Warrington in possession with Myler. Ball just coming off a Leeds boot there. Well, this goes to McIntyre, can't offload the ball. Schofield's all over him there. Great tackle from the Leeds. Number 7, Shelford. Bateman. And nowhere for Alan Bateman to go. Craig Innes read that play very well there, showing the progress he's made since he came from Rugby Union. Just reading that play there like a book. Jackson. And that's one man who won't give in. Davis. Kicks wrong, and that's Francis Cummins to take. And we've got a break there from Cummins up to the 20 metres. Tate. Alan Tate's had a big game this afternoon. Mercer had to stop there to take the ball and still manages to make the break. Howard. Schofield tries a chip over there. Up to the last tackle, Ace finds Allroyd. Oh, that's it now, Mossman! That's the win for Leeds, there's no way back for Warrington now. An abysmal attempt to take Allroyd's chip over. And so Hanley himself over for the try. With this kick to put Leeds 26 points to 0 in the lead. Great performance there, two lovely chips over there. Skill of the halfbacks, Leeds. Gary Schofield's chip was tremendous. He took the ball on the full and Elodie Hanley in the rubber. Allroyd's kick is sound and short. Three goals to the youngster Allroyd. So the kick there from Graham Allroyd was fumbled by the Warrington winger, Mark Forster, and Francis Cummins in hand to pick the ball up and feed Elodie Hanley. And Hanley not needing a second chance over for the try. Great Britain Sevens captain Jonathan Davis will kick off. Jim Fallon juggling there behind his line. That was a good kick-off from Davis. Mercer again. And gaps appearing now in the Wires defence. Schofield finds Harmon. That's a good tackle from Alan Bateman. Innes will have a tilted it himself. Hanley now. Finally takes the ball. All the Leeds players want the ball this afternoon. And it's Ellery Hanley who's got it now. So the last tackle, good tackling there from Wire. And that's holding up there in the breeze for Allroyd. That wrong foot's Lee Penny. Forster. Robbie Myler. Brought down by Kevin Ido just outside the Warrington 20-metre area. Well, it's not for runners. Finds Hilton. Hilton's a willing worker, going to be a great player in the future, Mark Hilton. Leeds Academy have just had a result at Castleford this afternoon, 24 points to 14 wins, so they're celebrating as well. They've just returned. Telford putting Elliott away there. Jackson. Jonathan Davis. Kicks downfield. Francis Cummins can let that one run. That'll run dead. And 47 minutes gone then. Francis Cummins will have a run. Set up play for 2 tries, Francis Cummins with his alertness this afternoon. It really is good to see youngsters coming through in the game now. We've got class youngsters on both sides, Lee Penny, Mark Hilton, Graham Holroyd, and of course Francis Cummins, who we've just been talking about. Really does make for an exciting future for what really is the greatest game of all. Oh, and that's good plays now. And the 2 penalties each. And the scrum 6-5 in favour of Warrington. Alan Tate now has to go himself. I'll give you the answer to my half-time teaser, which former Leeds and Warrington player has just signed for Doncaster. And the answer to that is, of course, Johnny Burke, former Bramley and St Helens player as well. Shelford. Mark Hilton. Good tackle there from Harvey Howard. Schofield read the play well there. After kicks. Ostensibly taking the tackle, Francis Cummins. Bateman tackles the opposite number in. It's Davis over there. Tate now. So Leeds for once making no progress in this set of 6. Gary Mercer. Rock back there, good tackle from Derbyshire. Rose finds Hanley. Oh, and Leeds losing ground. We're up to the last tackle, and Leeds have lost about 10 metres in that set of 6. So a big kick required here. That ball sticks up in the breeze there. Lee Penny, who has to with that ball, leads up quickly to meet him. Penny again. Certainly worked hard this afternoon, the youngster. But so far not found any space to run in whatsoever. Iro tackles Hilton, and Hilton's brought down just inside the Leeds half of the field. Mackie now, Shelford looking to be involved here in this play. And Allroyd went for the interception, and unfortunately for him it didn't come off. So we're heading ball to Warrington, just on halfway. Play bang on the 50 minutes now, just half an hour of this tremendous atmosphere, tremendous of this game today, and just half an hour left to Warrington. Bateman there, it's the first real tackle Leeds have missed for a while. And eventually Iro throws him to the floor. Derbyshire. Dave Elliott looks to straighten up there, gets the ball away Thursfield. Davis, now if Leeds let him step at the puddle. Good tackle by Mercer. Using that short side with Shelford. And that's a try, is it, to Warrington? That's the first try to Warrington then. So Leeds caught wide out there by Myler on 51 minutes. So Davis then. Difficult kick. And that's wide, so 26 points to 4 it remains. Well, the South Stand, who have been accused of obscene chanting, now singing "What a Waste of Money," which will to change for Leeds to be not on the receiving end of that kind of chant. For Leeds now, a big tackle instinct required and keep Warrington penned down here. And make Warrington kick this time from the position of depth. Hilton. And Mercer, a good hard tackle on Hilton there. Jackson. Big hit was from Harvey Howard, which spun Jackson round. Mackey. Elliott again, and Warrington making progress up to halfway. Derbyshire. So Leeds have stopped knocking men down now. And Davis will put the kick in here. And that'll be a spinning bomb, you can bet. Is indeed. Safely taken by Francis Cummins. And Francis Cummins just knocked into touch there. The Warrington fans now behind their sticks there on to our right are really getting behind the side. And Leeds will need a good set of 6 here. Ellis. On a good pass and picked up there by Davis, but Iro quickly on him and the pack now. A knock on there, and I thought for one inglorious minute Stuart Cummins was going to say that went backwards. Oh, Bateman. So as my colleague at the side of me says, just a little one. Gary Schofield feeds for Leeds. Jim Fallon comes in. So Leeds not had a lot of the ball in the second half. The ball slipping out of Mercer's grasp there, and Warrington back in possession. Davis looking to go himself, and a good tackle by Graham Holroyd brings him down. Derbyshire. Hilton again. He's worked hard since he came on, Mark Hilton. Ellis, Shelford. Very great tackle from Craig Innes. Went up to the last tackle, so Shelford. Safely collected by Harvey Howard. from James Laws. Neil Harmon now. The Leeds could do with a sustained spell of pressure around the Warrington quarter of the field, or third of the field. Tate goes himself a match in half. So Richie Hayes looks for the big burst. And will take the tackle and the time that goes with it. Schofield, all right. Half through the break there from all right. Schofield puts up that bomb and that's spinning in the wind. Warrington back in possession this time. It's with Forster. Shelford. Mackey. Harvey Howard, enough of the Mackey running about with the ball nonsense. Bob Jackson. Hilton again now. That's good driving there from the youngster and a good tackle from Neil Harmon. Shelford now with that ball in his hands. He's dangerous when he's running with the ball. And again, all right. Going for the interception off Shelford's tackle. Feels he can read the New Zealanders' game. So Warrington again will have head and ball at the scrum. This is their ninth heel. They're fourth in this half, Lee Penny. Good tackle by Alan Tate in his opposite number. Warrington looking to run now with Forster. Jackson. Setting up position now, Wire. Just 15 metres from that Leeds line. Davis is out on the far touchline side. Mackey has to move the ball. Ellis. So go himself, Ellis there. Would have been better moving that ball out. We've had 4 tackles on Warrington just inside the Leeds quarters. Kelly Shelford runs himself. Again sets up play, just 10 metres short. We're on the last tackle now. And Davis will have the ball in his hands there. And he knocks on, in fact. Well, that'll be the turnover on the 6th tackle. Jonathan Davis had already decided what he was going to do with that ball. Got in the way of Kevin Ellis. And Leeds will play the ball and use big Kevin Ido. And the touch judge is on there. And surely that's got to be a penalty to Leeds. Number 11, Paul Derbyshire, the culprit. He's been pulled out there by the referee. So again, this all wastes just a little bit more time, and Graham Allroyd will pick the touch. It's just the 3rd Leeds penalty of the game. The penalty's 3-2 and the scrum's a massive 9-6. To the wire now. But Leeds get the penalty. Graham Allroyd finds a good touch. Going a great break there from Fallon, and he broke the line there and just pulled down by his ankles. Harmon, Leeds switching, running the angles. Blows in support as ever at acting half. All right, finds Tate with space to work in now, Tate. And that's going to be a penalty again there against Warrington. Just having a word with Kelly Shelford, Stuart Cummins. So play on the 3/4 time now, right on, 60 minutes. Harmon. Rock back there, great tackling from Thursfield. Seen much of him this afternoon. Howard. Milton in danger, I think, of losing his cool there. For Richie Ayres. And Craig Innes waiting for the ball round the man, which Ayres is a specialist in the distribution of. Allroyd picked up and dumped. And quickly Gary Mercer there brings Kevin Ido on the burst. With a tremendous game as Ido. And Nathan Leeds coming up again now. Are we going to have another try? And this is going himself. And is it in? The try there to Craig Innes. Ball moved across the line there. Schofield, Allroyd involved. Great play, and Craig Innes is over the try. Quick hands there through the backside. Tremendous play again from the big Kiwi. Must be very close to the man of the match this afternoon, Kevin Ido. He's had a tremendous game. In the tight, in the loose, his tackling's been superb. Allroyd's conversion is also superb. £32 points to 4. And suddenly it's absolutely wonderful to be a liner. Absolutely wonderful. And Dougie Lawton must be sat down on the bench. You wouldn't know from his face, of course. Dougie, Mr. Ice Cool, he looks just the same as he looked if Leeds were losing by this score. But he must be absolutely delighted. So it'll be a long journey back to Warrington tonight for Jonathan Davis and his boys, leaving them to concentrate on the league and hope that they can knock Wigan. Allroyd finds Mercer. And Fallon again, who's had a great game this afternoon. He's taken some pulling down every time he's had the ball, Jim Fallon. Neil Harmon. Big game against his old colleagues this afternoon. The Leeds heroes, 1-13. Harvey Howard's worked very hard here, and again Harmon. The last Leeds and Dougie Lawton look to have got the pack exactly right. But a big challenge towards Wembley. All depends, of course, on the look of that draw tomorrow morning, but certainly nobody denying Leeds' right to be there. 6 tries to 1 at the present time, and still 16 minutes of this game left. Leeds have changed the kickers with regularity, which must have sickened Warrington off. They've not been able to close the option down this afternoon. A good change there from Lee Penny. Hilton. Bob Jackson still working as hard as I said he would at the end of the game as he was doing at first. Mackie. Shelford's ball for Penny. And Penny evaded the big hit of Harvey Howard there. Shelford owns that ball. Tate picks up. Stops Bateman. A good run there. Allroyd, Schofield. Oh, and Ido's in space and his legs are going now. And Allroyd was pulled back there and had his ankle stamped on. I thought that Ido would have got himself there, but really no need to. Schofield will settle it down. This time Ido now with more space to work in. The forward pass given this time as Mercer goes over for the try. So great break there from Kevin Iro, really stretched his legs out like he was a Wigan player again. And I thought that Iro, he did the right thing in passing there to Ellery Hanley, but the cover came across, and I'm sure if he'd have taken on Lee Penny, he would have beaten him for size if not for pace. Bob Jackson's down injured, and the clock will have to be stopped on 66 minutes. A great day then. $9,713. Well, Kevin Ellis is coming off and Bob Jackson coming off. So the scrum will form and we'll get play back underway with the heading ball to the wire. Teitzel. Rock back there in that tackle of Neil Harmon and Ellery Hanley now. Hilton. The Leeds have a substitute coming on. Gary Rose is stripped and ready for action. Inside ball there was for Derbyshire, and the inside tackle was Neil Harmon. It's Neil Harmon who'll be brought off. He's had a tremendous game this afternoon, really got better as the season's progressed. Harvey Howard again alert there to the chip over. Hanley now finds Tate on that short ball, drops off inside there for Craig. Innes tackle right on halfway there. His head in fact buried into the halfway chalk. Well, that's the first Leeds mistake of the game. Handling error of the game. That's been tremendous this afternoon. Warrington in possession then. Teitzel. Going nowhere. Locked back in the tackle of Fallon without the aid of Harvey Howard's shoulder, which pushed him even further back. Just a small knock on there. Shelford steps out of one tackle. It's Jim Fallon's. And complaining Shelford.
Offside, Leeds.
The penalty there given away by Richie Hayes. So Harvey Howard and young Mark Hilton, who have been having a tete-a-tete, being called out now. Neil Harmon comes off. Great performance there from Neil Harmon. And Gary Rose comes on with just 12 minutes left. Davis finds touch. And Warrington with Hilton driving for that line. And complaining there, the Warrington fans behind the post. Mackey's ball certainly looked forward there from here to Teitzel. But Gary Rose is quickly in there at the tackle. One nearly broken half there. And crossing given against Warrington, so Alan Bateman collects a vicious tackle there, which nearly broke him in two, and Leeds got a penalty, and Warrington fans behind the sticks not very happy with this. Leeds have kept the discipline, the 6-2 the penalties and the scrums, 10-6 to wire, but it's been a good all-round disciplined performance from Leeds, and apart from Neil Harmon's fumble there, that was really the first time Leeds have made a handling error. Graham Allroyd's 2 interceptions, of course, don't count in that department. Had either of them come off, it would have been a try to Loiners. Harvey Howard. Schofield, short ball for Richie Hayes. Mercer. He will take the tackle, Gary Mercer. Innes spots there's a gap down the blind side there, takes the tap to himself. Schofield finds Allroyd. Allroyd's low kick. They send Lee Penny scurrying across, but he won't pick that up. The kick there again from Graham Allroyd. 32 points to 4, Leeds in the lead, 6 tries and 4 goals. And the only certain thing, of course, on this afternoon is that Warrington won't be going to Wembley this season. They say they'll be left to concentrate on the league and trying to knock Wigan off their perch. Jim Fallon wrestles Lee Penny to the ground. That's a great defensive display from Jim Fallon this afternoon. Safe as houses, and Warrington using the short side. The Leeds tackling now just as hard and as keen as it was at the first. Myler, very wrong. Kevin Ellis there getting involved. Lee Penny and Graham Allroyd were the best of friends. Just it was Greg Mackey. Well, Alan Tate's got the man of the match for some spirited running and some great defending, but he must have been run close by Kevin Iro. Schofield feeds a scrum, and Allroyd finds Innes. Fallon. Iro shrugging men off there. So just 8 minutes left then, and Gary Rose on the burst. The penalties against Gary Rose. Exception to being held down there. And Paul Derbyshire, who was injured, is now up on his feet. He had a tremendous game at Wilderspool in that defeat for Leeds, but he's looked nothing like a second goal forward this afternoon. He's converted centre. So Wire in possession again with Tytzel. Shelford again running there, looking to offload. Stepping out of tackles, Kelly Shelford. Is that going to be a try to the wire? In fact, he's pushed in a touch. So not the day for Warrington in the corner. Hanley quickly into his stride. Those an outrageous dummy, Alan Hanley, and makes 10 metres. Schofield short ball there. Was for Richie Hayes, who's done the unglamorous work this afternoon, tackled himself to a standstill. But Mick Stevenson was tipping Warrington to be too good for Leeds this afternoon. Well, if you're here this afternoon, Mick Stevenson, you'll only be eating your words. Warrington back in possession there. Mike Gregory. Hilton. For 74 minutes gone, there were some slight stoppages. Arthur Close, who's seen many of these battles in front of me, just leaving. He's a member of the Leeds side, defeated by Warrington in that 1950 semi-final, along with personalities as Bert Cook, Dickie Williams, Frank Watson. Hilton there through Gary Rose's tackle. That's Leeds probably just tiring a little now, and Warrington coming back into this game, but it won't be enough. Mackey. Oh, and Davis there. He's got to be crossing there. Penalty to Leeds. Well, Jonathan Davis thought he'd pulled one back there. Gary Mercer. James Laws. All right. Seen the spinning kick, Lee Penny's underneath. It's a difficult ball to take, and he takes it really well there. Nowhere to go and play into the last 4 minutes on the clock.
Can you remind all fans to keep the good name of Rugby League Stand Secretary?
And Bateman it is, who was a crunching tackle of Craig Innes, Gary Schofield, sorry. Lee Penny's in the line. That's good play from Wire. Penny stopping there as he was confronted by big Kevin Iro. Borderline ball there to Tykeslope. And a knock on from John Thursfield. The Leeds will bring Harvey Howard off. And listen to the applause as Harvey Howard comes off. A big favourite here at Leeds. And applauding the North Stand crowd. But the Leeds then will go into tomorrow morning's draw for the 6th round of the Silk Cut Challenge Cup. Man of the match, Alan Tate has the ball in his hands. And Leeds 8 scrum of the game. 11-8 now the scrums and 7-3 the penalties. Play with Neil Harmon on halfway. Gary Rose. Hanley. Hanley quickly up to his feet, playing that ball. Schofield. Angel Royd. Complaining that ball went forward. Craig is complaining that it didn't, but it's no good him complaining because the referee has already decided it'll be a head and ball to Warrington. Kelly Shelford pulled out of the scrum, Davis. Alan Tate lining up Robbie Myler. Perfect copybook tackle there from a full-back. Good play from Alan Tate. Schofield feeds a scrum. And Jim Fallon's away. Lee Penny's chasing him, but I think Fallon will be the youngster. And that rounds off a day really well with Fallon's second try. Straight from the base of the scrum. Dry, so Jim Fallon's whole into the field efforts in this season. He's had a great game this afternoon, Jim Fallon. He'll be absolutely delighted with that. Graham Holroyd should be the simplest of kicks for this 5th goal of the afternoon. The ball's rolled over. 80 minutes on the clock then. Holroyd converts. A 38-4 then to Leeds, and Warrington not just beaten, absolutely put to the sword. So Jonathan Davis was expected to win this game for Warrington single-handedly and has not really been that much involved. Gets the game restarted with Chiez. There goes the Hooter. So a great victory then for Leeds by 38 points to 4. Was 20-0 at half-time, and Leeds had within 3 minutes of the restart, Leeds had a try when Hanley took advantage of some sloppy play. Graham Holroyd, Granny Schofield chip over, followed by a Graham Holroyd chip over, which was fumbled, and Francis Cummings it was who was able to knock that ball back to Ellery Hanley. And Dougie Lawton's on the field, and he'll be quite willing to speak to everybody this afternoon, I'm sure. And then Wellington had a try over on the far side with Myler. No goal from Davis, too far out. And then Innes had a try, Holroyd converted, it was 32 for, it looked like it was going to stay there until Leeds got a scrum, deep in their own quarter. And the ball was whipped out to Jim Fallon, and Fallon now length of the field left the Warrington cover for dead. And Warrington left, as I say, for dead. Fallon over for the try, Holroyd converted, it was 38 points to 4, so it's Leeds who go into tomorrow morning's draw on the Silk Cup, Challenge Cup, the 6th round. And who would back against them going to Wembley if they can put together performances like this. Warrington absolutely annihilated this afternoon, and I'm sure it's going to be a long way home for the men from Wilderspool. And Leeds, Gary Schofield, who's had a tremendous game. Let's come out. And Leeds just coming off the field now to the cheers of the North Stand crowd. Dougie Lawton, happy man. And Graham Holroyd, a happy man. So just coming off last as always there. So leaving them with the Nielsen Edley, the Leeds are 38, Warrington 4. 5th round Silk Cut Challenge Cup by 38 points to 4. And I've got Neil Harmon with me. Neil, as an ex-Warrington player, it must be particularly satisfying for you.
Oh, jubilous, absolutely fantastic. I can't explain how I feel. I mean, winning in the Challenge Cup means a lot to everybody, but playing against an old club is something special, and the result today just proves how well the boys played.
Great pack performance. Harvey Howard made a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, last week we missed Harvey after his dismissal after 15 minutes, but I think last week did us good. You know, there was one member of the pack missing, which meant we all had to work that little bit harder, and it did us, you know, it did us proud for this week. We had the fitness and we was there.
The ovation you got when you came off from the North Stand must have been something else.
Yeah, Leeds supporters, I mean, since I've arrived, they've been really good. Second to none. I mean, I thought Warrington supporters were brilliant, but Leeds, you know, they're really fantastic, home and away. And it is something special when, you know, you get a clapping and a good cheering when you come off. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that.
So tomorrow's draw, anybody at home?
Anybody at home, we can't. I mean, when the draw was first made last week, and they said, "Oh, it's Warrington." I mean, you can't complain. It's a home draw, is the best you can hope for. And if it's a away game, well, we'll just have to see how it is.
And on a personal note, you've moved over to Leeds now. Happy over here?
Yes, I'm now a loiner. So yeah.
Tremendous pack performance, and the backs scoring most of the tries.
Yeah, it was one of those games where everything kind of come together, and you know, we showed what we could do.
It's been a long time coming, a performance like that, but I thought Kevin Ido was absolutely awesome in the backs today.
Yeah, he was. You know, everyone's been talking about Jonathan Davis, you know, all week, and you know, Kevin got a little bit of stick from the Spickies last week, and I think he was just out to prove a point, and you know, he really proved it, I think.
What a difference has someone like Harvey Howard made to the Leeds side?
Harvey's been a tremendous asset to the team since he's come. You know, big, strong guy, and you know, he's an inspiration to the rest of us. He kind of, you know, he doesn't take a backward step, and he's straight in there, and he's been great.
And Gary Schofield, a good link between the forwards and the backs at scrum half.
Yeah, you know, there's no doubt the guy's class, and just his experience and being on the field. he organises well, and you know, he's a great player, and you know, it's brilliant having everyone down there.
And your second try, I thought, was absolute pure class, where you turned the full-back inside out and went over there.
Well, I can't really remember much of it. I'll have to have a look at the video, but you know, I was happy to get over anyway.
And I suppose in the next round you'll be fancying anyone at Headingley?
Well, you know, if we play the same as we played today, I think we could turn anyone over. But we'll just have to keep our feet on the ground, and you know, we play well today, but we can't stop here. We've got to keep going.
OK, Krog, thanks for talking to us, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
That's a hell of a spider in there, mate.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Question is, what drongo is going to be stupid enough to go in and flush it out?
Anyone tell me where the toilet is, please?
The dunny's 50 yards down on your right.
Thanks.
Should have let him in on it, Bill.
Nah, you'll find out soon enough.
Bet he drinks Carling Black Label.
Carling what?
Carling Black Label. It's a pommy lager. Brewed at 4.1% for a fuller flavour. And because it's the #1 selling lager over there, you're never likely to get a sniff of it over here.
This could have given you a nasty blockage. It's quiet now, isn't it?
Carling. No wonder it's #1.